מה טוב ומה נעים, שברחים גם יחד. הנה 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 מה טוב ומה נעים.
And I'm actually gonna put the mics down for it now.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שברחים גם יחד. 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 Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It is so wonderful to be here with all of you this evening. We're just about to invite some really, really special people up to our bima. But before we do, I wanted to share a teaching with you that I actually learned from Cantor Ben David herself. Cantor, I'm sorry if I'm giving away some of your tricks, but earlier this evening we did a Tot Shabbat. We did a Shabbat for some of our youngest people in our whole community, and Cantor Ben David had a teaching about Shabbat that I thought was so good that I thought it could be great for literally a person of any age. And what she said, sorry Cantor, what she said is everybody should take a fist and go like this. Take your fist and go like this, and in your fist hold everything from your week that was a little challenging. Anything that was a little disappointing, anything that made you a little bit upset, somebody you were frustrated with, maybe an email you feel like, oh, I should have responded to that email. And take a deep breath and blow on the fist and just let it go. So we go, and she said that is what Shabbat is. This is the perfect description. It was for little kids, but I really think it's for all of us, that is what Shabbat is, that we're going to take the next hour to let it go and to use the songs and the melodies and being together to say, it's Shabbat. We're going to look at the world a little differently. We're going to rest. We're going to let it all go. So I'm very excited to invite up our first graders, our second graders, and what's our age cutoff? Any kid?
Any kid.
Any kid.
Anyone who identifies as a kid.
To come up to the bima and to lead us in some very special Shabbat music.
Okay, so stand here, guys, because I want these microphones to pick you up. Stand right here, right there. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Right there, perfect. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hi, guys. Okay, are you ready for this? Show them how we do it, because you've done this with me before. Take that fist. Take that other fist. And now blow all your troubles into them. Now ready? Let it go. And now make a gentle Shabbat fist. You ready? Okay. And I'm going to sit down right here. Okay, ready? Okay, ready, guys? Heaven, Shalom, Alechem. Yes, Alechem. Shalom. Yes, say it again. Yes. Heaven, Shalom, Alechem. Thank you for opening up our service.
Thank you.
Get you out of here. You're going to be up there for your bar mitzvah before you know it.
So just in the way that those wonderful, wonderful young service leaders brought in a lot of light and smiles, we're going to continue to bring in the extraordinary light of Shabbat with our candle lighting. And I'm honored to invite up Beth Roden to lead our candle lighting. She is an extraordinary guest and leader of one of the amazing Camp Azrui. And so she's going to lead our candle lighting, and then we'll learn from her a little bit about Azrui later in the service.
Hi. Good. I'll do it with you. Nice. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
I'm now honored to invite up a group of people who have been doing extraordinary work in our community, resettling a refugee family, making sure that Temple Sholom is not just a place that talks about how we want to change the world, but actually does the work to show up and welcome people into our community and really change the world. So I am honored to invite up Jane Light, Janine Biskind, Peter Kremer, Ellen Briskman, Daniel Komen, Carly Carmel, Pam Bondi, and Joan Berg to lead us in our blessing over the wine, our Kiddush. We are on page 123.
You think? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Who wants to?
Please rise.
Yes, please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, yahavaratzo, higanu, zikaron l'maaseh Bereshit, hihu yom tehillah, l'mikra'e kodesh, zecher l'tzion Mitzrayim, hibanu b'charta, v'tanu kiddashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshcha, v'yava uratzon, hivatanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mikadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim. L'chaim. Thank you all. Please be seated. We are on page 138 for L'chado D. L'chado D reminds us to see belovedness everywhere we go, to see belovedness in ourselves, see belovedness in our families, our friends, to turn to one another and say, I see what is so extraordinary about you. We're on page 138.
Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabla Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabla Shamor v'Zachor v'Dibor Echad Hishmianu El HaMiuchad Adonai Echad U'Shmo Echad V'Shem U'Tiferet V'Litilah Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabla Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabla Likrat Shabbat Lechu v'nelcha Ki hi mekor habracha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof maaseh b'machashav v'techila Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabla התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי, אורי, שדברי, כבוד אדוני, עלייך נגלה, לך דודי. לקראת כלה פני שבת, לקבלה, לך דודי. לקראת כלה פני שבת, לקבלה.
We rise in body or in spirit and face the east.
בואי לשלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה וצהולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך אדוני. לקראת כלה פני שבת, לקבלה, לך דודי. לקראת כלה פני שבת, לקבלה.
Please be seated.
Well, it is such an honor now to be able to say everyone should be seated unless you're quelling over a newborn daughter, in which case please come to the bima. Or if you are a big sister who is able to welcome in a beautiful little sister into the world. Or if you are grandparents who are just overjoyed at the growth of your family, then I invite you to rise. And just know that you're not going to get out scot-free either. Everybody's going to take part in this tonight, because we have this new beautiful child in the world. And let's come all the way up to this top bima here. Because tonight, we are able to wrap this beautiful little baby in a talit that Olivia, you were able to be wrapped in when you had your baby naming, that your parents, Aaron and Amanda, were wrapped in when they got married. And now it is with such love that, thank God it's a big talit, that can fit all the love of this family in it. And so tonight, you get a Hebrew name. And so your given name was Maya. Your given name is Maya Luna. And in that way, then, you represent this way in which you are part of this family. You're part of this family and connected to your sister, whose middle name is Lila. So you have the moon and the night. And in this way, then, you're able, in any kind of time, day or night, to be filled with love. And then your parents have chosen with such love for you the name Maya Leora. And then you are Bat Aharon Udvora Chana. And I'll say this to you, little Maya. Your name in some ways represents Mayim, water. You are nourishment to your family, even as they nourish you. And you are Leora, which means my light. And the way that you are looking at your parents right now embodies that kind of light. For 6 long years, they yearned for you, they tried for you, and then they were able to find the perfect person to be able to house you for 8 full months until you were able to be born into this world a month early, but 6 years longer than they had hoped for. So you were ready to come when you did. Maya Leora, Bat Aharon Udvora Chana, may your light always fill this world. May your parents always enjoy the growth of your body and your soul. And may this community have the great honor of being able to be partners with your parents and with God in raising you in light, in Torah, in love. With that, I invite the congregation, please rise in body and spirit as we bless this beautiful baby with a threefold benediction. We invite you now to lift your hands up in prayer. You can put your prayer books down and lift your hands up in prayer as we pray that God's light fills this sanctuary, just as God fills this beautiful baby with so much life that we're hearing right now. May God continue to bless you and protect you.
May your life be filled with holy light, and may it feel close to you.
May you always feel yourself lifted by a divine presence. May you feel that like a swaying blessing in your life always. May you feel yourself supported by a community that loves your family, that embraces your soul, that looks to you both as inspiration and aspiration for what we can become. And may God bring you peace. And to that we say, Amen.
Amen.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov, mazel tov, mazel tov,
Mazel tov.
mazel tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, mazel
Okay, that's great.
tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulachol Yisrael, Yehelanu.
Filled with that extraordinary power of blessing, of our ability to bless one another and to feel blessed by one another, we turn to our Baruch Hu. I regret to inform you that I am going to ask you to stand up again. I apologize. But we are on page
Kimberly, you knew.
146.
Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
We turn to page 152, and we remember that the central prayer of our people is all about what it means to be connected, that we are all one.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated. We're on page 154. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך
ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Annette, I'm very excited to invite up the amazing Sam Cohen, who works with our kids and our teenagers in so many different ways, to introduce Mi Chamocha.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I look around and I see all our first and second graders and younger and older, and I just want to give a quick shout out to Karen, our first grade teacher, and Mia, our second grade teacher on Sundays, who, like Beth and summer camps all over the country, provide new experiences for generations of kids, and just it's a big thank you to them too, and to Jewish summer camps. So this poem I'm about to read was first read to me back in 2013 by my favorite counselor, Peter Luck at Asrui. And I read it almost every year I try to find some place to share it, and this year, this is that place. So while I read, I invite you to imagine the new experiences you know you're going to have this year, but also to imagine the new experiences that you don't know you're going to have this year. I'm on page 25 if you want to follow along. Either you will go through this door or you will not go through. If you go through, there is always the risk of remembering your name. Things look at you doubly, and you must look back and let them happen. If you do not go through, it is possible to live worthily, to maintain your attitudes, to hold your position, to die bravely. But much will blind you, much will evade you. At what cost, who knows? The door itself makes no promises. It is only a door.
Thank you, Sam.
Thanks.
158 for Mi Chamocha.
And we're doing the Debbie Friedman tonight, which I've told you before is the original from Sinai. So, and they were clapping. I'm sorry you all don't have tambourines, but I expect a rousing version of this. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Mi chamocha b'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neder b'kodesh, nora tehilot osei fele, nora tehilot osei fele. Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, ukei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'elianu ve'amru, Ze'elianu ve'amru, Adonai lo le'olam va'ed, Adonai lo le'olam va'ed. Just you, lie, lie, lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie.
Who here has a story that somebody in their family likes to tell over and over again? You raise your hand. Is there a story that someone in your family, just you've heard it maybe once or twice or 5 times? Maybe your dad always tells it or your grandma always tells it. I think that in some ways the Amidah is like that family story. It's this prayer that has the names of our ancestors, it reminds us where we come from, and it tries to lead us towards where we're going. And we say it over and over again to say, these are our stories. We always can understand them in new ways. They don't get old for us. So we're on page 164, and we invite you to rise in body and in spirit for our Amidah.
Ananana sifatai tifta. Ananana ufi agid. Ufi agid hilatecha. Ananana Adonai. Ananana sifatai tifta. Ananana ufi agid. Ufi agid hilatecha. Ananana Adonai. Ananana sifatai tifta. Ananana ufi agid. Ufi agid hilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo V'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Atah, Rab Oshia, Mashiv HaRuach, Morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofech Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishnei Afar, Michamocha Bal Givurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'nemanat Alachayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol, Atah Kadosh v'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kadoshim b'chol yom Yahlelucha Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We take time now to sink into the quiet of Shabbat, to spend time with our internal voices, with our thoughts, our reflections, and our prayers. We invite you to stand in silence, and if you're standing when you're done, please be seated.
Just for a second, close your eyes. Not everybody here went to camp, but if you were lucky enough, I want you to take yourself back to whatever camp you went to. And if you didn't go to camp, if you've ever sat by a lake, ever on a rock, on a walk somewhere, take yourself back there right now. And imagine, now you can open your eyes, just stay in that place. And imagine this version of our prayer for peace. We have to do it in a very camp-like way. So when I start to say, oh, say shalom, I want you to go, shalom. Okay, ready? Oh, say shalom. Oh, good. Bimroma. Oh, say shalom. Bimroma. Then we go. Huyase, huyase, huyase. Shalom. Try that. Huyase, huyase, huyase. Shalom. Huyase, huyase, huyase. Shalom. Aleinu. So Jay, you might have to help me here because I always get you get your hands ready, okay? So what do we do? How do we do it? May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down. Here we go. Oh, say shalom. Roma, even louder. Oh, say shalom. Bim Roma. Huyase, huyase, huyase. Shalom, just you. Huyase, huyase, huyase. Shalom. Huyase, huyase, huyase. Shalom. Aleinu. Here we go, nice and loud. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down. Stay by that lake for the rest of the week in your mind.
One of the amazing things about our services and about Judaism in general is the idea that we can have really happy moments right next to really challenging moments. But sometimes we go straight from a song where we're shouting about peace and shalom into saying we're also recognizing that this could be a really hard week for some of us. This could be a really hard week for some people we love. And so we take this moment to send the people we love strength, to send them healing, to let them know that we're with them, both when we call them and when we text them, but also in spirit, that we're thinking of them and deeply, deeply hoping for them. So if there's someone you're thinking of this week who could use that extra strength, please feel free to share their name out loud as I pass my hand around the room. Turn to Misha Berach. We're on page 371.
Misha Berach Avoteinu Makor HaBracha us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Mi Shebei Rachim Otenu Makor HaBracha Liavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema. The renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Well, Shabbat Shalom. It's so fun. Oh, this microphone has a little bit of feedback, but maybe, oh, well, look at this. Well, Shabbat Shalom. Oh, look at this. Oh my gosh, thank you. What an amazing clergy team. Oh my
We love
gosh.
you.
Wow.
You can be hands-free.
Wow.
Right? I like the skinny Dion look, but
Going more for the stand-up comedian, but so Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's wonderful to see you tonight, and I wanted to start off by telling you a little story from the Talmud. And I want to see, you might have heard it before and you might not have, but I'm going to stop at certain points in this story tonight, and I want you to turn to somebody next to you and try to answer maybe one or two of the questions that I ask. So I want to make sure that you know the people around you. So can you wish them a Shabbat Shalom and say, hey, we're going to study together tonight. And then when I want your attention again, I'll say Shabbat, and you can say back to me Shalom. So Shabbat. So it's wonderful now to tell this story from the Talmud. So once Rabbi Joshua was traveling. So he was traveling in the countryside, and he was going, and he met with a child at a crossroads. So he met with I'm doing this like subtle cue that didn't work very well. Oh, here we are. So once Rabbi Joshua was traveling, and he came to a crossroads. And when he came to a crossroads, he saw that a child was there. And so he asked the child, which way to the city? Which way to the city? And the child responded a little perplexingly, this way is short and long, and that way is long and short. So I have a question for you, which is, what makes a short way long and a long way short? Have you ever been somewhere where the short way was actually long? Or have you ever had the experience where something long was actually short? So turn to somebody next to you and see what you have to say. Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So, did anybody hear anything surprising or anything that kind of made you laugh? Anybody? What about the short way that's long? Oh, I saw you gesture. Okay. Yeah.
One time I went to see a pig farm, and
Already a good start for a Jewish story.
I thought the way to see the pigs was long, but it was short.
Whoa! Yes, sometimes those pigs, they trick us. We think it's going to be short, but it's long. But this one was long, but it was short.
I said Apple Maps.
Oh, right. So say more.
It's a metaphor for paying attention to someone or something when you know it's not right, and then it makes you go longer instead of shorter.
Oh, that's so interesting. Or there are times where I'll tell you for my own maps where I think for sure it must have the wrong way. So I try to go on my own, and then I end up waiting an hour longer and realize that actually the long way was the short way. Anyone else? Anything that you heard that either made you laugh or surprised you? Anything from the children? Let's say, oh, all right. You want help? You want help from your mom?
Want me to say it? She said the long way short, that Sunday school is long, but to her it goes by real fast because she has so much fun.
Wow. Yes. Ruthie, I don't know that you're going to make your dad any more proud than that, but let's try Ruthie Rappaport, the daughter of our just now graduated Director of Lifelong Learning. We'll hear more about what he's up to later.
Camp.
Oh.
When you go, it's like a long time, but it goes by really fast.
Oh my gosh, I love this. What I love about all of these is that they're a combination between a short and long way and a long and short way. Oh my gosh, do we have a Ninikman over there that has? All right, I'm coming. You will have the last comment on this one tonight, but there's going to be more questions. So others of you who have not yet spoken, don't think you're off the hook either. All right.
It goes by fast, like when you're in a maze. You
Oh.
might take the wrong way, and it's actually a long way.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Has anybody gone to a corn maze where, you think you got a shortcut and it was just actually there was a dead end and then you had to go back around? So let's keep this in mind. So the thing is, by the way, which way do you think Rabbi Joshua is going to go? Do you think he's going to go the short, long way or the long, short way? Who thinks short, long way? Who thinks long, short way? All right. Let's see what he does. Rabbi Joshua took the short and long way. So what do you think for him is a short and long way? Any guess? All right. Oh my gosh, Olivia. It's as though you actually got a good night's sleep when your parents didn't, and you might have some good answers. Okay, go for it.
So he thinks it's going to be short, but it's actually long.
Yeah, he totally thinks, a short and long way. Maybe it's like a shortcut. So he takes the short and long way. And so he takes the shortcut. He gets to the city. He gets to the outskirts of the city. And there are trees and there are orchards in his way. And there's no way for him to actually get into the city. So what does he do? He retraces his steps. And he goes back to see where the kid is sitting. And he says, "Didn't you tell me that this was the short way?" What do you think the kid's going to say back to him? It was a short and long way. So, did I not tell you that it's also long? How do you think Rabbi Joshua responded to this? Well, we'll never know. So as we see this, the short and the long way, and we have situations in our own lives where we can imagine the short and the long way, I want to say that actually we have something that happens where we can ask ourselves, when is it better to take the long way? Rabbi Joshua thought it was going to be better for him to take the short, long way. When is it better to take the long, short way? Any thought? All right, keep that question in mind when we get to this week's Torah portion. Because in this week's Torah portion, we hear something. Oh, by the way, I did have a little bit of a little hint for the question in our next slide, which is, this might be a time. It's good to take the long way. All right, so, okay, I thought maybe it was going to get a better laugh than that. It's a violent monkey park, and she's getting the advice, maybe you want to take the long way home. So I wanted to bring this because in this week's Torah portion, it begins with something a little perplexing. Do we know what the big moment in this week's Torah portion is? So momentous that we actually call this entire Shabbat Shirah, because we have the song of the sea in that. We have that moment of the parting of the sea in our Torah portion. But it starts off in a perplexing way, where God says, where it says, "Now when Pharaoh let the people go, God did not lead them by the way of the land of the Philistines, although that way was shorter." That way was nearer to them. So when God finally says to the people, look, you really can leave. I'm really, at this point now, I'm going to make sure that Pharaoh is going to make sure to let you go. That at that point, they could have just at that point gone the very short way. Does anybody know how, if they had gone this short way, this nearer way, how long it would have taken them? Any guesses? Anybody know? Yeah, go for it. 3 days, a little longer, yeah? A half a month, okay, so let's see, a half a month is like 15 days, so let's split in between. It would have taken, okay, yes? 10 days plus 1 is 11 days. Thanks for staying with us, everyone. So it would have taken them 11 days had they gone that closer way. We hear that later in Deuteronomy. That's as close as they were. 11 days they would have been in the land of Israel had they gone the closer way. So if they had gotten there in 11 days, what would they have missed? What was part of their journey that they would have missed if they would have gotten there in 11 days? Why don't you turn to your study buddies and why don't you guys talk about what would they have missed? What would they have missed if they would have gotten there in 11 days? So from the Rios family, we already have one response. They would have missed 40 years of complaining. Maybe any other thought about what would they have missed? What else would they have missed? Yeah, I'm going to quickly come around.
They would miss sleep.
Yeah, they would have missed 40 years of good night's sleep. Because, I don't know, we've been talking about camping. I think that there's no better sleep than camping sleep. Would you agree, Beth Roden, Sorority Director? Yeah, no sleep like in camp. All right, let's keep going, yes? All right, what else? The 10 Commandments. They would have missed receiving the 10 Commandments on Sinai. All right, I'm going to keep coming around. What else would they have missed?
I don't know. They would. The journey wouldn't be a journey.
Yeah. I mean, the journey just wouldn't have been the journey. Exactly. In 11 days, it's not like 40 years of being able to bond and to go on an actual journey. Ruthie, yeah, what were you going to say?
Oh, no, someone already said it.
Okay. Anybody else? No manna from heaven? Yeah, they would have missed out on that. Anyone else? I like that I can just kind of come around with a microphone. People can just shout things out. Yeah, what else? Anything else? Maybe the centerpiece of what happens in this week's Torah portion. Oh, Tessa, yes.
Life experience.
Yes. My God. Yes. Oh, yeah, exactly. So I don't know if everybody saw that, but somebody just did a mic drop behind me. Thank you, Tessa. Yes. All right, yeah, well, like life experience. So we're going to take two more, and then I want to finish up.
They would miss their family.
Yeah, they would miss the development of their family and being able for them to grow together in the desert.
Food.
What would they miss? Pharaoh?
Food.
Food, yeah. They would miss actually having those things taken care of. And they would have missed what happens in this week's Torah portion. They would have missed the parting of the sea. They would have missed Sinai. They would have missed being able to have more life experience. But more than that, what they would have missed is what it is to come together as a community. 11 days is hard to be able to find a way to be able to come together as a community. They needed lots and lots and lots of practice. And we continue to practice that today. What does it mean to care for each other? What does it mean to look out for the people around you? What does it mean to welcome families in from other parts of the world and make sure that they have their immediate needs taken care of? But more than that, make them feel welcome when they come somewhere new. What does it mean to come together on Shabbat? What does it mean to be able to say, we know what it is to both know the things that make each other the happiest and also to know what breaks each other's hearts. And this is what it means to be a community like ours, where we have this experience of having had ancestors who wandered in the desert for 40 years, but they didn't wander aimlessly. They wandered with purpose. They had a Torah at their center. They had our teachings at their center. And they showed us what it means to care for community like this. And so I'll say that this is the way that sometimes we make a long story short, where we said at the time 40 years seems like the long way. But when it serves for us for 3,000 years, and God willing 4,000 and 5,000 and 8,000 and 10,000 years, that we know that actually the 40 years was the short way to come up with a very long, beautiful way that keeps our people alive and inspired well into the future. And so I just want to show what we're going to do on Wednesday is to be able to say that this is why we have a community like this, is to welcome new people into our community with love, with a Brit Milah, with a way of being able to see a cute baby swaddled in a, that's it. Where this is our little baby, Gelman Eckstein. This is Rabbi Gelman's baby, whom we are going to welcome into our community and into their covenant with God at their Brit Milah this Wednesday. We know, God willing, that what we're doing in our community is caring for one another so we can, with confidence, even in our very broken world, have the hope and the faith to be able to welcome in generation after generation after generation into our future. And so this was a very long way to shortly welcome you to our Brit Milah for our baby Gelman Eckstein at 10:30 on Wednesday. It won't be the same without all of you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, cancer.
They can still hear me.
But I want them to hear you for the ages.
Oh, God, Rabbi, so cute. I do want to mention that the oneg tonight will be over there. All you need to do is follow Maya towards the doors, and after services, that's where our oneg will be by Lakeshore Lobby.
But don't follow her that way.
Yeah, don't go that way.
So where the Mins are sitting, Mins, will you just, oh, hi, So we'll be going back that way behind them to Lakeshore Lobby. I just thought I'd give another direction.
That's smart.
Many guideposts we need.
So, for a few announcements, this Saturday, tomorrow, you can join us at 1 o'clock for Mindful Jewish Aging. So if you want to gather with the Temple Sholom community to explore spiritual gifts of life after 50 with Cantor Katzman, Deborah Paskin, and Andy Simmons, the group meets on a monthly basis, and we'd love to see you there tomorrow.
And at 9:30 on Sunday, you do not want to miss Kosher Hits with Dave Milberg. Has anybody been able to take a class with Dave Milberg before? This is all going to be online. He is the expert in all things radio, and it should be so much fun to get to learn with him this Sunday at 9:30.
Oh, and then me. I'm going to be at the Lincoln Park Conservatory with Jude Kamler and with Nathan Lamb and with the incredible organization called Dayenu that works on the environment through a Jewish lens. And so we do need you to RSVP because we do have to give the conservatory an accounting of how many people are coming. But we're going to do a beautiful walkthrough of the conservatory while we are discussing and observing our holiday Tu B'Shvat. So please join me.
Beautiful.
And on Monday night, you can join the film group discussion. They're discussing the movie Abe at 7 p.m., we hope to see you there.
And then we'll have Israeli wine tasting this next Thursday night at 6:30 p.m. here, and it should be so much fun. We're doing this with lots of parents from Mishpacha, so please join us. That evening should be a lot of fun. And finally,
and so not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, we are doing a meeting with an incredible Israeli journalist. His name is Gil Hoffman, and it's part of a series that we've been doing throughout this entire year of bringing in a lot of different perspectives around Israel, of saying this is a congregation that can hear all different kinds of perspectives and can dive really deeply into them. And Gil Hoffman is a really fascinating journalist. He's interviewed pretty much every politician in Israel. He's interviewed many Palestinian politicians. And so we'll hope you'll join us in person Wednesday, February 15th. We are going to have a brunch, so that should bring you in too. That's going to be at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, February 15th.
And it will be mixed presence, so you can also join us from home if you'd like. And now, Beth Roden, if you would mind making a return appearance to the Bima. Beth is the extraordinary director of Asrui in the summertime. And Beth also is married to another Jewish professional, Sam Roden. They have 3 boys, one of whom is turning 3 this Monday. They have a 3-year-old almost, a 4-year-old, and a 6-year-old. And look at Beth. She has the energy to lead a camp, no less. And so it's wonderful, Beth, that you're here on the Bima. We're grateful to have you on this Shabbat.
Thank you so much. And it's very exciting to be here in this sanctuary and surrounded by so many people who have such familiar faces that I've seen at camp. I've spent time with many of you at camp, and I hope to see many of you maybe this summer or in a summer soon. In a moment, we're going to join together in the Aleinu. And the Aleinu is a prayer that says, Aleinu l'shabeach. It's our job, it's on us to praise God. Aleinu l'shabeach. And I sometimes wonder, what does that mean? What's my responsibility to praise God? How do I do that? Well, I want to offer to you one of the ways I think about it. So we know that we're taught that we're created, B'Tselem Elohim. Who knows what that means, B'Tselem Elohim? I heard it, in the image of God, exactly. So if we are all created in the image of God, then if I am always striving to be my best self, that's one way that I am praising God and honoring God. So I think about this because I know that at camp, this is a place where as people come to camp, as our children come to camp, we are always striving to be our best selves, to teach our campers how to be their best selves, how to be a great friend, how to try something new, how to get better at something that they're already great at, and how to find themselves and be really proud of themselves and then to come home and be excited to share their best selves. What a way to say Aleinu l'shabeach, to make yourself the best self that you can be. So that's what we do every summer. And I'm so excited, especially here on the Shabbat where first and second graders are here, because this is the first year that you're able to join us at camp for the summer for 5 days. And if you're older, a little bit longer. But so many people from Temple Sholom join us. Sam is there every summer. Rabbi Conover often joins us. Rabbi Singer was there last year. And we would love to invite all of you. I'm excited to be here and would love to meet with anyone who's interested. And I hope to see you at camp. And as we say Aleinu together, to think about and maybe whisper to the person next to you, what is it that makes you your best self? And that way that you praise God. Thank you so much.
The bottom of page 586, please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גאולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא. יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Please be seated. And I was talking to someone today who is observing the yard site of their father. So that means that they are coming to the point where it's been, for them, 15 years since their dad died, and he died as an older man. And so as I was talking with her, and she's raising beautiful children, I was asking her, how is this hitting you this year? And she said, I love the Jewish traditions of being able to remember like this, because it's a reminder, an intention to be able to continue to tell the stories of my dad to my children. And I think that sometimes as we come to this point in our service, and we're remembering people who have passed away from this earth, but whose spirit really still continues to inspire us. Well, sometimes this is a way of being able to feel a little sad at the end of our service and have a little release. And I'll say that last week on a Shabbat, where during the day we observed International Holocaust observance, as an entire world, we observed this together. We remembered the people, not only who perished, but also the people who walked out of Auschwitz alive, who told the stories of people who had died. And that was a way of continuing to perpetuate their memories and keep them alive in our hearts and our thoughts in the way that they can inspire us. And that evening, when we heard the very sad news of an attack that happened in Jerusalem, and we're feeling so sad, heartbroken, even angry about what happened as far as people who had died in an attack. Well, we remembered those 7 people, and at that point we didn't know their names. And now we know their names, and we share their stories so that their memories also continue to bless us, to inspire us. So we have this time in our service where we can wrestle with those big feelings of being sad and being angry, and also being inspired and feeling like those people who have passed from this earth are still very much alive in our hearts. And so on this Shabbat, we are remembering those who died last week in Jerusalem. We remember Asher Natan and Eli and Natalie Mizrahi, and Ilya Suzansky, Raphael Ben Eliyahu, Irina Korolova, and Shaul Chai. As a congregational community, we're also mourning the recent loss of Arlene Tucker and Sonia Olex and Jed Snyder. On the Shabbat, we also are remembering those who died in this season in years past. So remembering the yahrzeit and marking the yahrzeit of Baruch Aaron and Marku Aravochi. Let me say that a different way. Marku Aronovici, Edna May Fadum, Sol E. Feldbein, Jean Feldman, Elaine Finder, Jeffrey Fine, Inga Forst, Philip Golub, Merle L. Goodman, Harry Goodman, Larry Gordon, Scott Kaplan, Stuart Kettner, Louis Kite, Alan Kleinman, Ray Kramer, Stanley Krulowich, Sadie Kushner, Sidney Leibovitz, Frederick Lieber, Edward Litwin, Carol Kaplan-Lahner, Shia Lukács, Eva Miller, Kalman Mintz, Harold Morris, Judith Bernkrant Nyman, Billy Jack Patterson, Grant Pick, Sheila Rosenblatt, Herbert Hillel Rosengard, Marty Ross, Egal Roth, Eric Sacker, Goldina Schwartz, Nancy Schwartz, Jesse Fisher Shepard Miller, Edward Siegel, Gussie Slavinsky, Sheldon Sloan, Sylvia Smith, Walter Steinman, Mary S. Supira, and Dorothy Yellen. And if there are others whom you are remembering, please say their name, even as we share names here as well.
Norman Godfrey.
On page 598, we find the words of Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. Please rise.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon, v'chayeh v'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agala uvizman kari v'imru.
Amen.
Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam ulalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei b'kudisha. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Da'amiran v'yalma v'imru.
Amen.
Yehi shlama Rabba min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom v'romav. V'yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom v'romav. V'yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Cantor, how do you feel about an audible?
About what?
An audible. Oh, right, exactly. Well, the thing is, I love how we're gonna close this service
I'm
with
always
song.
up for an audible, but I'm curious.
And yet, we have two rabbis and an incredible youth group from Valley Temple in Cincinnati. And it would be so wonderful if you would join us on the Bima. Rabbi Sanford Kotnick, who once was a rabbi here on this Bima. Come reclaim your Bima, please. With Rabbi Zoot as well, please. And those amazing youth groupers, please join us here. So we're going to sing our closing song. The cantor is going to lead us in it, and she might even call out a page number or not.
I will.
We'll see.
657.
Wow.
657. Hi, guys. I know. You didn't know we were going to publicly humiliate you, did you? Come on up here.
We're going to humiliate them even more because at the end they're going to have to also lead us in the motzi. So,
Oh,
I mean, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
So
Second graders, you want to join them too? You
Come
might as
towards the
well.
podium a little bit. Come towards the podium a little bit. You will
Wow.
know, I think you'll know most of this song. Okay, we are on page
All right.
657.
Rachel Lipson, our incredible administrator, will you come up to the Bima now?
What's up,
Sam
Mims?
Cohen, you want to come up too, please? And don't think that you're going to stay out there. Come on
Why
up.
not? Come on up.
All right.
So,
All right.
you know this song, but I like to start it with this like, hey yo, it's a relief. We started by blowing all our frustrations into our fists. Now we're gonna practice going like this, watch. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. Yes, that's right, so we go. Hey yo, hey yo, hi Abra. Hey yo. Just like, let it all go. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, whoa. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. You know this. Oh, Javo Shalom Aleinu. Oh, Javo Shalom Aleinu. Oh, Javo Shalom Aleinu. Le'al kulam. Salam. Aleinu ve'al kol Israel. Salam. Salam. Here we go. Salam. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Shalom. Shalom. Oh Javo. Oh Javo. Shalom Aleinu. Oh Javo. Shalom Aleinu. Oh Javo. Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Hey yo. Hey yo. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo.
Rabbi Kopnick, it's amazing to have you back here. Rabbi Zoot, if you would, take your amazing youth, go right over here. Would you lead our congregation in the motzi before we head to Lakeshore Lobby for some fun desserts for our oneg, where they might have the opportunity to talk to Beth Roden, the amazing director of Asrui, or to Jay Rappaport, who is now the 6 Points director at the Creative Arts Academy there. Yes, and now, Rabbi, you're making that challah look oh so good.
It's all about the plastic.
It's all about, yes. Did you, I love that a graduate joke always goes over well on this bima. All right, and here we go.
What's happening over there?
That's where all the fun is.
Fun. Everybody take one. Ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.